The original Star Wars trilogy broke new ground in many areas, including special effects, and it was one of the earliest blockbusters and is in part a model for how movies are marketed today. Lucas mixed elements, including Buck Rogers and the hero's journey, and brought us something truly unique for the time. Aside from the cutting edge special effects, he brought us character names that sounded like they were created using baby talk of common household items. And who could forget the who shot first debate? He also brought us cinema's first gay robots, as I mentioned in my last video. Now, while the prequels didn't capture the magic of the original trilogy, they did break new ground, in that they showed us that Star Wars could suck. It could suck hard. With boring, lifeless characters, boring ass space politics, abysmal dialogue,
I don't like sand.
terrible kids, and this fucking abomination. We realize that the galaxy far, far away maybe should stay far, far away. Maybe Lucas was out of ideas. Maybe he was too focused on merchandise rights. Whatever it was, George let us down. But in all fairness, there were clues. Really obvious clues, actually. The Star Wars Holiday Special, which some of us saw and remembered, and the two Ewok movies, followed up by the Saturday morning cartoons. In movie terms, the Ewok adventures would be to the original trilogy as Rogue Wonton and the Solo spinoff are to the current trilogy. As much as nobody wants to accept these movies as canon, they are. These shows, including the holiday special, don't feature obscure extended universe characters. These are the main characters from the original trilogy. Now here's my point. What this teaches us is that George, as much as he loved his characters, he would totally sell them out for a quick buck. And ultimately that quick buck would be $4 billion from Disney. Now I don't think I was the only one that thought at the time that this could redeem the franchise. Now, Disney had proven they could do big action movies with Pirates of the Caribbean and the Avengers. Sure, Pirates outstayed its welcome, but it knew what it was and it didn't try to be more than that. When we heard Disney had Jar Jar Abrams directing and had totally threw out all of Lucas's ideas, aside from laughing, I think we all thought, thank God, let's make Star Wars great again. But like Obama taught us, not all change is good. Kathleen Kennedy and Jar Jar Abrams were now in charge of the ship. Now that Kathleen Kennedy was head of Lucasfilm, she was not going to be outdone by George Lucas, a white male. Good old Kathleen Kennedy set out to bring new things to the franchise. If George Lucas could make annoying fuzzy animals like Ewoks, Kathleen Kennedy could make annoying fuzzy animals too. So, a seagull fucked a seal, and out came the most forgettable cash grab characters ever, Porgs. Remember those? I don't. But now they're canon. Kids love Pogs. Let's use that in the name. Or maybe they were named after the black musical Porgy and Bess, because kids love American operas. I really hope Jar Jar Abrams takes a page from the Book of Tribble and beams them onto the Klingon ship. Lucas brought gay robots to the franchise. Well, Kathleen Kennedy will see his gay robots and raise him a feminist robot. Now, I hear what you're thinking, that I'm confused and I mixed up Star Wars with Spaceballs.
Okay, we all know Prince Valium is a pill, but you could have married him for your father's sake and then had a headache for the next 25 years.
But no, I'm talking about L337, or L7 for short, from Solo, an SJW Star Wars movie. Let's take a look at what Wikipedia has to say about L7, the feminist robot. L337, abbreviated L3 or L7, was a feminine hodgepodge droid associated with Lando Calrissian, who was active during the reign of the Galactic Empire. She was a one-of-a-kind droid, assembling and improving herself with scraps of other droids, including her torso, which she pieced together from an old astromech. Assembling herself, because she don't need no man. She's a strong robot. And of course, the internet is raving about this character. Wonder why? Let's take a look at what Enema Blend has to say. Oh, she's different from the other droids. Isn't that what Michael Jackson says about himself at the beginning of the Thriller video before he turned into that cat monster and killed that broad?
I'm not like other guys.
Of course not.
No, I mean I'm different.
Really interesting, considering the accusations at the end of his days. So let's see. A self-modified droid who has improved upon herself. Ugh. Bleedingstool.com says she's a droid with a message. Yeah, what message?
The assumption that women are naturally better caregivers is part of patriarchy.
CBT.com says she's a droid with a message. Wow, did you know that? She's a droid with a message. L7 has a message. They went on to say, fans are all too excited to see the violent and sassy L7. And they go on to say, the robot was already praised as a show stealer in Rian Johnson's review of the movie. Well, shit. Rian Brick Johnson thought she stole the show. They quote the actress that voiced her as saying, L7 is a real inspiration to me. She's a self-made droid, and she turned her oh my god, I can't. She turned herself into a unique creature that's more independent than she originally was. And she's fearless. She's uncensored. She's very funny. She's an evolutionary, and she has an agenda which is bigger than the sum of her parts. And it's great to play a droid with a message. She concluded, hinting that there might be a welcomed air of feminist appeal to the character. Ah, yes, the feminist appeal.
Number one, shut the fuck up for a second.
Also, gay Star Wars, as I mentioned in my previous video. And Suckfire, what is it? Suckfy Wire says, oh my god, this is the droid you were looking for. No, it is not the droid I'm looking for. I seriously doubt anyone's looking for that fucking droid. Oh my god, this is... Okay, so let's take a look at this stupid feminist robot. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's even cool. And no, it's stupid. I love that the robot built herself with tits. And even a feminist robot that is strong and independent built herself with the ideal 36-24-36 proportions. However, unlike Michelle Obama, her hips are actually wider than her shoulders. Wait a minute. Now, is it just me, or does L7 kind of remind you of someone? That's bugging me. Sort of like Alpha 5 from the Power Rangers. Man, look at those hips. Because real robots have curves. Okay, so the internet and the mainstream media are telling me how great L7 is. Maybe she's cool and funny and not the dour, downbeat bitch I'm picturing at all. Maybe she's fun and funny and... Oh wait, look, Mucus Film released some new clips of the awesome new self-made feminist robot. So, let's take a look at the clip.
Get your presumptuous ass out of my seat. Oh, my sacral occipital circuit is sticking. You're gonna have to do that thing again later.
Yeah.
Plugging coordinates in now. Just keep your pinky on the yoke. Try not to mess anything up.
Badly designed robot with a British accent and a terrible personality. That's so familiar. It's bugging me. God, where have I seen that before? That's right. Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Thing you ought to know, I'm feeling very depressed.
Well, we have something that should take your mind off things.
It won't work. I have an exceptionally large mind.
So, yeah, that was great. That was great. Totally not depressing or downbeat or unpleasant character at all. And I am so stoked for Solo, an SJW Star Wars movie. You know, L7 is so great. I think her and the rest of the new characters from Star Wars are all set to join the ranks of the Disney princesses. Yeah, that's it right there. That's the one. Perfect. It seems that any long-running franchise will have a downward arc in quality, as budgets usually tend to be cut with each sequel. Movie franchises like the original Planet of the Apes, and even the new series in part, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and even the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, all dropped in quality with each installment. The Friday the 13th franchise was a little more even, but it did nosedive at the end, and that just seems to be the model, with the exception of the Harry Potter series and the James Bond franchise that rises every few years like a cicada, sticks around for a while, and then goes away, but is always profitable enough to be dusted off again. So, after 8 main films and 4 side films, the Star Wars saga is just doing what movie franchises do when under bad supervision: dip in quality and interest. And who knows, they may ultimately join the ranks of Pirates of the Caribbean and the Transformers, a series of big movies that people just gradually lost interest in until they were no longer profitable to make. Now let's see if Jar Jar Abrams can pull Kathleen Kennedy's ass out of the fire and save the franchise and her job, because I have a feeling Solo isn't going to be a rousing success. And at this point, I've given up. And until Kathleen Kennedy is no longer the head of Mucus Film, this is what we'll get. SJWs in space. Never thought I'd be nostalgic for the prequels. Ah, well, what are you going to do? Feel free to say whatever you want in the comments. I don't delete anything. As always, like, comment, subscribe, click that stupid notification bell, and remember, stay awake, stay alert. We are the new counterculture.